Welcome to the Green Band, the only podcast where we have more trailer breakdowns than my car.
This week, we're exploring some of the most anticipated movies of this year. First up is Clown in a Cornfield, which is not related to The Lady in the Yard, right? Or is it?
Kind of corny. Next, the second trailer to Ballerina takes center stage, where we'll see she has a shorter fuse than John Wick. Then get ready, the second trailer for Andor Season 2, where we'll see if they took our advice and got a real song.
Then we'll finish up with not only like a ton of trailers. Doctor Who Season 2, Together, Rust, Duster, and the crazy, insane trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines. Brian, I'm looking forward to this one.
So grab your popcorn with extra butter, sit back and relax. This is the Green Band.
Welcome to the Green Band. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Carr and Brian Fink.
That's how I'm going to sing it every time from now on. Brian, how's it going, buddy?
Well, it'd be great if I had a car.
You don't have a car?
No.
What happened?
Well, we had to get a rental. My wife's car was in the shop, so then we had a rental for that car, and then my car was in the shop, but the rental went down.
Yeah.
So now we have a rental for the rental.
I was in the shop?
Yeah.
I thought you said my car.
Yeah.
Oh, my car. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Wow. That's how we're starting off this week.
It's
we're
live,
people.
It's live.
It's live. Yeah.
I know. Otherwise, it's great.
So it broke down, and then your rental broke down.
Yeah.
That's what they call bad luck, I think.
Or just breakdowns.
Breakdowns.
There's a lot of breakdowns right now. So
people
are having
true.
a lot of breakdowns.
Yeah, LA's like broke, right?
Yeah.
How do we not have any money?
And it's what? We're not even April yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
And it's opening day today for the
That's
Dodgers.
what I was going to say.
Right?
The good news is it's baseball.
Yeah.
It's back.
It doesn't feel like it with this weird weather, though.
No, now I just got an alert that it's supposed to rain.
Really?
Yeah.
We had the latest winter ever this year. It was like, it didn't start raining until like January.
It's all breaking down.
Yeah. It's
breaking
just like
down.
your car. Exactly.
Yeah.
See what we did there?
Yeah.
You see, guys? You see that?
You put that back in.
We have a jam-packed show.
We do.
And just to remind everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, welcome. Thanks for watching us, and we appreciate it, being part of the community. This show is about movie trailers, and we like to have a good time. And Brian and I are both in the industry. We both work on trailers all the time. Brian's a writer. I'm in post-production. But we just like to have fun with it, and this is sort of like our sort of outlet for an industry that can be kind of serious a lot of times and very like red carpet.
These days,
we're in award season. People get kind of
Is it stuffy in here? I mean, no.
Yeah, they get stuffy during award season, right?
It's fine. You got to keep it light. Keep it loose.
Yeah, but we're trying to do that. We're trying to keep it, keep it fun. And so if you like what you're seeing, please do subscribe to us on YouTube and turn on notifications and all that crap that you hear people say, all the subscribers or the YouTube creators say, blah, 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 notifications. Anyway, and
that's how they sound, by the way.
They sound like a Muppet. We'd like you to subscribe.
Not the Muppets again.
I don't. We're also streaming on all podcast platforms like Spotify, like Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, iHeart. And then we're on social media. If you want to reach out, we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, all at Green Band Podcast. And if you'd like to write us directly, you can do so at greenbandpodcast@gmail.com. So now that I got through all the fun stuff, Brian, we have a surprise this
What's
week.
the surprise?
It is a special interview. Our first guest other than my daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real. And this just happened 40 minutes ago. I reached out to Patricio Hoter at Bond, who is a friend of mine and a client as well.
That's great.
And a great guy.
Right.
Just an unbelievable creative. He's a producer. He's an editor. He's worked on some of the biggest campaigns. He actually cut this trailer for Clown in a Cornfield that we're going to see.
Oh, I'm so
we're going
excited
to watch
about
the
this.
trailer, and then we're going to toss it to my interview with Patricio, where he's going to tell us all about sort of the behind the scenes of putting the trailer together. Isn't that cool?
It's great.
Yeah.
Makes our job a lot easier.
A lot easier. Thank you, Patricio. Yeah, I just sat back. Like, he was fantastic, so I didn't really have to do much. I asked him, like, tell me about this, and then he just told me all about it for like a good 10 minutes.
We should do this every week.
I know. Why don't we have more? So we're actually going to do that. We're gonna
I love it.
Start trying to
See
have.
how I fed that to you?
Yeah. Wait, I don't. What'd you do?
I set it up so you can say, yeah, we're going to do it every week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the I love it was. What is happening? We have derailed.
We're not even 10 minutes in.
Not even that.
Thank
no.
God you interviewed him. Yeah, I'm excited about this, though.
All right. Do you want to check it out?
Yeah,
let's check out the trailer for Clown in a Cornfield. What? No, I messed it up. Here we go.
Trailer Talk.
This is what I wanted to show you. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, it is really cool. Where'd you get it from?
I'm OG Kettle Springs, baby. I got all kinds of stuff.
Does it work?
Try it.
Look out!
They're really big on tradition around here.
Every year, there's this parade where everyone gathers around a Friendo float.
Friendo?
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup labels. He's practically a local legend.
Smile, Philly girl. You're about to become a sensation.
Be careful who you hang out with. There's some real weirdos at this town.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, very funny, man.
Hey, Ginger! You okay?
There's a psycho dressed up like Friendo, trying to kill us! Call 911!
Where's the button, Jen? What is this? What
kind of phone is it?
I love it.
That's great.
Super cool, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
That ending shot is awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, when the clown kills the guy doing a push-up, that's my worst nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a push-up.
That's our A ones. That's our A ones right there.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
No, this looks great.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's like so okay, let me give you some backstory.
Sure.
And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna toss to my interview with Patricio in a second, but what I didn't know is that this is actually based on a book, on a trilogy of books. So this guy named Adam Cesare,
Right.
you want to say it right? He came up with 3 of these. The first one came out in 2020 called Clown in the Cornfield.
Right.
Then I think the second one is called Friendo,
Right.
and then there's Church of Friendo.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited about reading the books, but what's really cool about that is, like, I was talking to Patricio about it, which we'll see in the interview, and I said that's interesting to me because I just kind of, from the trailer, just assumed this would be like a regular slasher film, and he's like, no, because there's a book, there's actually a great story there too.
Oh, wow.
Because it's based on this book, there's like a whole story there, and I thought that was really interesting.
Interesting.
So it's sort of there's more beneath the surface than meets the eye here.
Right.
You
So
know?
not just crazy Terrifier, art and, the series. Like, there's actual whole backstory to this.
Exactly, which
It's
I
great.
thought was super cool. And of course, the trailer's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
done so well.
It's
I
great.
love the little sounds, It reminds me a little bit of, on the Green Band podcast we did when the It trailer came out, how we did the sound effect.
Oh, yeah. That was great. We just kept hearing that.
You were like, name that sound. It was name that sound effect segment.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was actually, Laugh was in the thing, in the title, wasn't it? It was
I think so.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, but anyway, why don't we go ahead and watch let's check out my interview with
Let's do it.
Patricio.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Patricio Hoter from Bond. Patricio, thanks, man, so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Tell me about Clown in the Cornfield. I kind of did a little research, but I kind of want to hear from you how this project came about, how you got put on the project, and just tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the film is phenomenal, first of all. So, honestly, when I got the call to be like, hey, I got this amazing film, you're going to love it. It's about a clown in a cornfield. I was like, done.
It is aptly named.
Title sold me right away. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
It's mathematically it makes all the sense in the world. It's like the two things. But it's yeah, it came in. I took a look at it. It's phenomenal. It really is.
Nice.
And
Yeah, it really is. Like to me, it felt like it's like it meets Scream. You know?
yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, like it's a movie that the horror delivers, sort of
Nice.
like this sort of new Gen Z humor delivers. Like the casting is incredible. Like it is
Yeah.
one of those scenarios where you look at it and you go like, I don't know that I know these people, but
Yeah.
everyone is top of the game, and it's so rewarding of a watch, and the construct is great. It's off of a bestseller book, so
Yeah.
they really did put all the pieces together, and then and then came this, and like when we first started, the conversation was fairly straightforward because like we knew what it needed to be in terms of like where do you focalize your efforts.
Yeah.
The effort is in really building the lore around this clown that you want to set apart from Art the Clown or Pennywise or
Sure.
or any of the other clowns out there, right? Like you want to try to be like, let me world build and character build, but also not deliver on, you've seen this a million other times, right? And
Yeah.
honestly, it's a movie that is not difficult to do that because
Okay.
it really is that different from the
Because
rest.
that's in the movie. You're not having to make it up.
I'm
in the
not trying to
trailer.
like, cheat the movie or bend it in
You're
any
doing enough like
way.
world building themselves. Like that's fantastic.
And honestly, one of the things that really led to sort of having this much fun was that the client was straight up from the very beginning. He was like, listen, let's not overthink this because this movie is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And we want to sort of push forward on that so that we're not trying to like hide anything. We're not trying, there's a couple obviously big spoilers that we're never going to cross over.
Yeah.
But like, the client was stoked to be like, have fun with this, like let this play. And in that came the first piece that we did, which was a teaser, right? And like in my mind, I was like, all right, so if there's this town and this is all around the lore of like a clown who is a mascot to a formerly corn syrup company back in the day, I was like, I wonder what like a jingle for that back in the day commercial would have been like. And then I was like, when I started toying with the idea, I was like, I don't know if it's a jingle. Maybe it's like a talkie, like a 50s talkie, like, like it's time to sweeten the day with a marvel of Bacon brand corn.
I love that.
And kind of like wrote the whole idea. And
So you actually, that's not in the film. You came up with that.
right. So that was
That's
kind of like the
cool,
device
man.
to be like, let's do something fun and let's tease it without having to like burn the candle on the teaser. And then we will let the movie do its thing on the trailer.
Yeah.
So it kind of like the teaser narrowed down to just this long speech and then highlighting pivotal moments that kind of deliver on both. This is as horror as it is fun, and
Yeah.
here's the clown that basically unifies the whole piece. And they loved it from basically V1 was like, this is excellent. We probably went a couple of runs on like a few tweaks here and there, and then ultimately the director was super happy. Everyone was on board, and it was a seamless like, oh, we now know what the DNA is. We now know exactly what this has to be, and that allowed for the trailer to then become like a full piece. Like, let me tell you some story, but we don't have to dwell in the nitty gritty of all this stuff that perhaps is better saved for the movie.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing I got excited because you mentioned, I didn't know this. So in preparation for our interview, I kind of looked some information up and I didn't realize that this is based on a trilogy of books.
Oh yeah.
By Adam Cesare. And so what's interesting about that is, there's got to be some real story here. Like, not just a slasher film. Like,
No.
There's, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely lore, there's story, there's, like the whole thing takes place in a town that's been kind of forgotten in time. So like that makes that sort of like basically disconnect between this Gen Z group of kids that are trying to be like, this town sucks. And, and a town that is such a based on traditionalists, right? So like you have things like in the trailer, we really, both in the teaser and the trailer, there were two moments that we knew from the beginning. I'm like, this have to be. For the teaser, it was like the mouth covering. Like that was kind of like such a fun, great, well shot, well acted moment. But for the trailer, the phone was like, call 911. And it's like, what kind of phone is this? Where's the button? Like, it was such a simple and effective way to tell you everything you need to know about the generational gap, but also not really kind of commit to going down that road and being like, oh, let me just like that's for the movie to do when you go to see it.
And that's kind of what you're talking about when you said earlier about Gen Z humor, like really lands in the film. Yeah. So moments like that, and that's great. Yeah.
It serves everyone, it serves like all of us millennials.
I was going to say, like, I appreciate that because I know that I can go see it and laugh, at the young cast and like, oh, it's like tongue in cheek almost, but then also younger kids can see this and be like, yeah, that speaks to me because they're laughing along with it too. So that's perfect,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great, man. So one thing I thought was really interesting is that this is coming from Shudder, which is a streaming platform. Can you speak at all to Shudder releasing? I don't know if this is their first theatrical release, but I know that they are typically doing movies for streaming. And I actually subscribed to Shudder in the past. I quite like their brand. So I was excited to see that. And I know you've done work with them before. I think at Bond doing like their sizzle reels and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of curious if you've heard any reason why this is coming out theatrically and then when it'll maybe drop on the flat platform.
I mean, Shudder is a brand that kind of has been developing through the years. And like with everything else, right? You have like an umbrella parent company with AMC and IFC, and then you have Shudder as a streamer. I think more and more they're releasing films like this, where it's like, sure, you have a film for Shudder in the platform, but some of them are planned to be also theatrical releases. Like, we've worked in the past in films like, what's the Concentration when, Consecration, When Evil Lurks, and there's always like a crossover, right? And either you have a film that is going to be for the IFC company to basically put out into the different markets and international markets and distributors, and then they will put it on the platform, or they will co-produce and go together. But Shudder is a brand that like it's so, for me, it's fascinating to watch because like you kind of come out of like the last few years of all the studios dropping so many things, and then you have like a new player in the game, and you're kind of like going like, well, what is this? What's the quality of this? Where like do they deliver? And they really kind of like went full on like owning horror. And now like when you kind of look at the stuff, it's like, oh, they're like basically top of their game. And this movie, I think, is gonna do a lot of good for them because, like I said, like it's a trilogy of bestseller books.
So I'm sure they've got 2 more lined up there.
Yeah, I can 100% see this coming back with like, oh, great, this was like a top hit for them. Let's sort of start working on the next ones, like, and I think that's sort of like the course that they're doing, like much like at one point A24 did, and much like at one point Neon did, like you're basically brand building and then sort of putting in this sort of higher level films that are gonna then get everybody excited about like seeing that brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Patricio, I won't take up much of your time or much more of your time, I should say, because I know you said you did a lot today. I know for a fact you guys are busy over there. Thank you so much, man. You're one of the best, and the trailer's phenomenal, and great job. And thank you so much for being on the Green Band.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been phenomenal. The journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's great.
That was great. Thank you, Patricio, for taking the time to do that with me. That was awesome, especially because I know he's super busy over there at Bond. So very much appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
But great job in the trailer too.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. So next up, we've got the trailer. We saw the teaser. Now this is the trailer for Ballerina.
Right.
John Wick.
Yep. The whole universe
Thing. Let's just check it out and then we'll get into it.
I can't wait.
All right.
In Slavic mythology, the Kikimara is a spirit that exists in the shadows. To those with darkness in their hearts, she can be vengeful. But to the innocent, she can be a protector. It's up to you to choose.
Welcome to the Continental. Checking in.
I'm looking for the tribe with this mark.
Needing to know is what got us banished from the Garden of Eden. Are you prepared to be cast out again, Eve?
Yes. I'd like to go hunting.
Will this be a large or small game hunt?
Large.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Come on. There's a declaration of war if she's not called off.
Perhaps I can send someone to solve the problem.
The Baba Yaga. Leave the wolf to its prey.
She sent you here to kill me?
Or you can leave.
I'm not leaving.
Your choice. This is your fate. And you cannot change it.
Rules.
And consequences.
He's back.
He's back. That's your choice. And starring Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead.
I was about to say Daryl Dixon's in this. Yeah.
It's like you have no idea what you walked into.
I am blanking on her name right now. I'm not as prepared this week as I normally am, as you already know.
Yeah, but
I've loved her, though, ever since I saw her in Knives Out.
Great movie.
So good in Knives Out. And
Great.
so I think she looks great in this. The action looks super cool, like everything. I'm wondering, is John Wick coming back to life, or is this like a prequel?
I think they're trying to hold that from us.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Or maybe he's coming back to life.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were doing another John Wick. There was rumors that they were going to do another one.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I mean, the last one ended fairly definitively.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away.
But I'm just saying, but I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I just...
Let's see. Let's see if they do another one.
This could be the prequel.
Oh, yeah, John Wick Chapter 5.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So I had heard
they just
that.
cannot let stuff go. Ana de Armas. That's her. That's who it is.
Right.
Yeah, Ana
but
de
I'm
Armas.
just saying, like, this to me seems like another way, like as part of the spin-off. They've done this before, and the movies for post-credit scenes. It's like they're just trying to tie in his universe with hers. Because right now, if you take him out, it's a whole separate movie.
Yeah.
It's its own identity, you know? But you kind of like...
So it's the handoff.
Yeah.
It's the handoff.
Yeah.
Kind of like
that's what I think.
Kind of like did in Star Wars, you know, where
Sure.
Han Solo comes back for a movie, then gets killed.
Right.
You know, which I'm still upset about.
Spoiler alert.
I'm still sad about.
I mean, if there's anybody
if you
out there-
haven't seen The Force Awakens by now,
seen it. It's
I'm
like-
not gonna apologize for that one.
Yeah, I did that once, but Empire Strikes Back, and the dude was like, dude, I haven't seen it. He's his dad? I mean, you know what?
But when was this? Was this 1980? Because then, okay.
More like 2024.
Okay, come on.
It's like, come on. It's like, how do you not know this?
Yeah, no. That's a great subject. What should be the statute of limitations
for spoiler
for
alerts?
people for spoiler
I
alerts?
know.
I think there needs to be a statute of limitations.
I know. He was like, I don't watch Star Wars movies. How do you know about it? I'm like, because I'm alive?
Yeah.
It's just like, that's everybody saw. It's 2025.
If you don't watch Star Wars movies, then why are you even upset that it was given away? Like, I have so many questions. I have so many questions.
By the way, that's what I have for Ballerina. I'm actually really curious.
Maybe he's like, specifically a Star Trek fan. Maybe he's a Trekkie, one of those Trekkies that doesn't ever cross over.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because aren't there ones that are like pure?
Oh, yeah.
There's like, one or the other.
Puritans, for sure.
Yeah.
They're like, nope.
I like both. I'm just like, and wasn't because when J.J. Abrams directed both a Star Trek film and then he directed Force Awakens, that was like a big deal.
That was a huge deal.
Like all the nerds were like, oh, I can't cross over the franchises.
Well, they were like, he can't separate the two. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure he's J.J. Abrams. He can separate the two.
Yeah.
And
is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
Can't separate the two?
There was so much backlash when he came on board. I'm like, what's wrong? You're just angry about Lost.
Yeah. We're really being topical this week by talking about 2017 Force Awakens and Empire Strikes Back from 40 years ago. It's fine. It's
People
fine.
are like into this going, I thought we were going to talk
Yeah,
about
we talk about Ballerina.
Andor 2. What are we doing?
Oh, that's true. We do have, you know what? There you go. There's the time. We do have Andor 2 coming up. So shut up and just not kidding. We love you all. Ballerina, I am, okay. Do you saw John Wick 4, right?
No, I have not.
You have not?
No.
Okay, so they introduce the whole ballerina thing in John Wick 4, I believe.
That was the setup. Makes sense.
But it is funny to me that, like, is it like a little on the nose that like there's a female sect of assassins and they're also ballerinas? Like, is it a little like,
because
is it are they going to say the whole thing is that they can move gracefully and all that?
Because it's like the way ballerinas. I have a friend whose daughter is the ballerina. It's like it's crazy training they go through.
Yeah,
And there's like the choreography they go through. I'm like, man, I can't even. If I did that, I'd be in traction. If I moved like that, I can't. I mean, I pull a hamstring, put my jeans on half the times. It's like, but I'm just saying, I kind of get it. But like, what else would it be? It's just like the nurse.
Yeah, they're nurses. And
the kindergarten teacher.
They have the cure.
It's like
the kindergarten teachers. Hey, they kind of did with the kindergarten cop.
When they have one shot, don't miss.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
I guess, but I think that's what ballerina ties in with like the whole graceful.
It's just
killer.
fun. It's fun.
It's an art.
Okay, me personally, like I love the John Wick franchise overall. I appreciate the first one the most. I love the first one.
First one's great.
I'll be honest, I'm getting a little tired because as they've gone, I'm like, it's the same movie over and over again. I just personally feel like they are not expanding the world enough per movie or like.
Well, how do you one up it? How do you go? How do you take it to the next level then? This?
I just think like if it's. Every movie is John Wick just trying not to get killed. That's like literally every one. I kind of wish at some point during the franchise, out of the 4 movies they did, the storyline moved from you are, what's it called? Not incognito. What's it called? Whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah.
Where he's disavowed, essentially. Like in Mission Impossible, he's disavowed, right?
Yeah,
so
disavowed.
they're like, you're like disavowed, and now we're all coming to kill you. That's like literally the plot for every single one.
Right.
And I just wish at some point they're like, okay, we'll wrap that up. We all be friends again, and now John Wick's gonna we're some other bigger plot. We go in a different direction because it just felt like it never moved past that one basic storyline.
Well, I saw the first one. I saw parts of the second one. I've not seen 3 and 4, but to me, by the end of the second one, they should have moved over to the ballerina.
Yeah.
So bring it in there because that's now more interesting.
Yeah.
And then come back with their, having them both in together or for John Wick 3 and like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what Marvel would do. Mm-hmm. It's like it's so. But going back to this trailer. Listen, it looks fine. It looks great. It just gives a lot away more than I thought. I would do it. The teaser actually I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was effective. Mm-hmm. It left me wanting more.
Yep.
And I'm just like, this is one of those. If I'm online, I'm looking at all the trolls. They're like, you just gave away the whole movie. Yeah, now I can save $25. I'm like,
and I will say, like, and we're gonna watch some teasers and trailers coming up here that are more not giving anything away. And I'll be honest, sometimes I go through the YouTube comments because I think it is sort of a good pulse, and that's kind of what they're all saying. They're like, great, this is so well cut because you didn't give me anything away. It's just all atmospheric. Like, what was it? One of that one we reviewed recently that was a horror one.
Presence?
Yeah, Presence. There was another one in there that was like that.
Too.
Where, there's no plot given away at all for the most part. It's just
Freaky Tales or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was just like this montage of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
but I think that's good because there's a trend, just not to digress, but like I'm working on 2 projects right now, and it's really weird because we talked about this early on, like what I do as a copywriter. Both of them are special shoots.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I haven't done that for a long time.
And we're not going to show it this week, but there's a Avengers special shoot that just came out.
I saw that.
And the reason I didn't show it is because it's just chairs. And so from
you can go look it up.
Yeah, I would say look that one up. We'll link to it. It's cool. And we could have put it in here. For me, I felt like it wasn't too much to discuss.
It's just an announcement teaser to get people excited.
But there you go. It's a special shoot.
But there's a lot coming
Robert
up
Downey
like that.
Jr. at the end, pops up and
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that from an industry point of view.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a move in the right direction for sure.
But anyway, I thought that the teaser for Ballerina left me wanting more. But again, this is a cool trailer.
Absolutely.
I'll probably go see it.
Well, let's move on to the next one because we got a jam-packed show. This is Andor Season 2 trailer. Let's see if they listen to me.
Let me translate what that laughter is about. Let's see if they put a real song in, not in 1970.
That's true. If you are just now joining us, episode,
the first trailer,
I think it was the last episode we showed the teaser for this, and Brian and I had a little healthy debate about the music choice in that teaser. It was different. It was very It was just different than what you normally see for something like this. That's not bad or good necessarily, but it was polarizing a little bit for us. So
let's check this out. See if they took our advice.
All right, here we go.
I came with you to be part of something. The Empire cannot win. It's a different kind of mission. If it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
But if I'm giving up everything, I want to win. We have to. We must stand together. We will be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
It's a weapon. They're building a weapon.
The monster will come for us all.
Revolution is not for the saying. You're right here, and you're ready to fight. There's a future here for those who dare. Welcome to the rebellion.
They listened.
Okay, they get a green band sticker.
There you go.
It's like
yeah, it's more traditional.
The sound effect of the alarm
I
from
love
the Death
that.
Star.
Yeah.
I knew that it's more traditional.
Yeah. Also, I really like when that droid smacks that guy. It sends him flying.
By the way, they put that in the movie just for us. They're like, okay, guys, you
Yeah.
win. You get a real song. I feel like that's what they did, but I love that last line, welcome to the rebellion. I mean, this is the parks. I was watching it and I'm like, okay, see, what's different about this trailer from trailer 1, but now I know what to do. It's all leading up. I mean, this whole thing's a prequel. By the way, for people, the backstory from this is the prequel to Rogue One, which is the prequel to New Hope. So it's like
prequel upon prequel upon prequel.
I actually am trying not to laugh saying that. I'm like, he's just making that up. There's no way it's a prequel to prequel. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really well done. Forrest Whitaker, man, I just love him in there.
Great.
Another thing, we don't get too technical on this show because we're more about the creative and about the stories and all that. But I really love how this trailer was mixed from an audio standpoint.
Yeah.
They did this really nice reverb on the dialogue at the beginning, and I wouldn't normally think to do that in the context they did it, but I love how it sounds. It sounds really good.
Yeah, but I think that's important for the show. Because that's a really good thing.
It's not that we don't do that, like when I've mixed and but it's in the way they did it. Normally you wouldn't do that there, but I like it. It was a good choice. It works really well. It makes it atmospheric and it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes it sound beautiful.
I think that's great.
Nice job to whoever mixed that one.
Can't wait. Coming out in April.
So moving right along. Unless you want to talk more about this one.
No, we'll go to trailer 9. Which one are we on?
I know, it's so many. It's so many.
We'll go. No, good. I love it. I can't wait. April 22nd. I'm there.
There you go.
I'm watching.
Nice. Love it. So this next one is for Doctor Who Season 2. So I pulled this one for 2 reasons. Our friend Brian Wynn did the music on this one.
Right.
Now you're going to hear, this is a really, really cool Phil Collins remix.
Did he do the mashup or the score on this?
He did the score.
Oh, wow.
And it's awesome, right? And then also, what do you call it? Pat on the back to myself, I guess, or what do you say? People, whatever. I actually mixed this one. Yeah, because Jared was out that week, and so Disney sent it over to us, and I got to mix this one. So that was really cool. So not only it was really neat that I got to work with Brian on this one, who you and I both used to work with all the time from a creative standpoint, and so that was kind of neat. So
let me translate. I had to work. Give me a green band sticker.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna try to get an interview with Brian. He's super busy today.
Very talented.
I checked in with him. He wants to do it.
Oh,
so
good.
There's a chance we might get an interview with Brian, and it will be released as a supplemental thing to the podcast separately.
You won't want to miss that.
You won't want to miss that. So if you see that drop, definitely check that out because Brian is
very talented.
He's done all the big movie, music remixes that you've heard. A lot of those have been Brian Wynn. So
let's take a look.
So let's take a look at this one.
I am the last of the Time Lords. I'm from a different planet. An evolved life form. And I have waited for the day of your arrival. I'm the doctor.
Doctor what?
Just the doctor.
All right then. I'm called the nurse.
Good team. You left Earth.
It's been 2 hours.
It was 6 months ago. This should get you back. It is bigger on the inside than the outside.
You need to get me home.
You don't need to rush, because...
This is a time machine.
Boom. 1952. 51st century.
The 803rd Interstellar Song Contest!
Oh, we're so safe.
We're staying.
What year is this?
2007.
Can't you get this box of yours fixed? Have you ever heard of the planet Earth? Never heard of it. My parents are back home. Are they safe?
I hope so. What?
Roll up.
Doctor, what's he doing?
I think we're being animated.
Gosh, I'm all flat. And this waistline is impossible.
I will not fail you. Everything is out of sync. Our entire reality is in danger. I promised that I would keep you safe.
But you can't promise.
I can. I will. I do.
Oh, I love that little throwback there at the end to the original theme.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that nice?
That's great. Good job.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that was cut by Revolve.
They did a great job.
Revolve Agency cut that. Yeah.
I like that copy line.
Oh, yeah?
Getting home would be a blast.
Yeah,
through
that's
the
good.
past. That's
yeah,
good.
Blast from past. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to do.
There's been so many different versions of this Doctor Who. I think it's great.
Yeah. One thing that was really cool for me mixing that was getting to hear, Phil Collins' vocal stem just by itself.
I was going to say, how cool
is
that?
I mean, I had all the stems from Brian, that Brian sent over, and it's actually pretty cool to hear.
You're like jamming on it on the way home.
Yeah, I mean, it was I wouldn't say a rush, but it was a timeline. You know, I had to get it done, so I didn't have too much time, but it was kind of neat to go through and listen to all those different tracks, all the different vocal stems and the layers that they added in the original recording, then hear what Brian did on top of it, all the drums he added and everything is very cool.
Well, good job, dude. You crushed
thanks.
it.
Yeah,
good
job,
Carmen.
Brian, man. Yeah,
good job.
Good job, Revolve and Disney. Yeah,
it's great.
Good job on that one. So, yeah, man, that was fun. And let's see, what do we got next? Okay, this one I pulled. This is a really cool teaser. This is for Together, movie called Together. This stars... you know what? I'm going to mess it. It's Dave Franco and of course, because I don't have my notes today, sorry, his real life wife.
Oh.
Alison Brie.
Right.
Sorry. So let's check this out.
What a beautiful piano song.
It's very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
There's
what do you think?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm confused.
It takes a turn.
It does take a turn there.
Yeah, but this isn't. Haven't we been seeing a lot of this year?
Yeah.
This type of,
But I'm okay with that.
Oh, totally. No, it's great.
Like, this is the opposite of Ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like, I'm fine with this. Like, okay, I've got a question. You're playing counter to everything you're seeing. It's an old trick. They've done that forever in movies and trailers. But it's like, you see it set up. I'm thinking, oh, it's a love story.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see the bear or whatever. And it's like, oh, now he's pulling a
the dogs. Yeah,
yeah.
And you're like, what's
going on here?
Yeah.
And then the hair coming out of the mouth. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then the contorting in the hallway where they're bending, like, okay. And then the drawing of the two dogs or wolves together. I'm like, there's something here.
Yeah.
There's. I'm curious for, is it some kind of supernatural thing? Are they lycanthropes? The mythology for werewolves or whatever else they're doing. There's been enough werewolf movies this year too. It's like, but I'm just saying, like, what is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So here's my question, Brian.
Yeah.
So when you have a teaser like that,
yep,
you're going to release a trailer afterwards.
Sure.
What's your next step creatively? Right? When you've held the card so close to your chest,
right?
How do you go about revealing more where you're still not revealing too much?
Well, without knowing anything about the movie.
Yeah, that's
based
true.
on what I said. So there's two ways you could do this. Immediately, just put the pedigree at the front. It's a smaller film, independent film.
Yes.
He says to come out. So they might not want to try to do a mass explanation of what's really going on. Meaning, for those watching and listening, in the first trailer or teasers, whatever you want to call, you pretty much see something like this. In the next segment or installment, you need the ground, the audience. So you can find 1, 2, 3 different ways that you want to go into it. Like, for example, you're probably like, what the hell is he jabbering about? But like in the Ballerina, it was like this whole setup of what this person was.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we know there was a group of them and she went back in. Okay, boom. That's all. Now you can go off and take your flamethrowers and kick people, whatever, fight John Wick. It's like you set it up. And here, what do we really know? They're in a house. They're in the woods.
They moved.
And
they moved to a new place.
Things are getting hairy.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, but I'm just like, so the next part, to answer your question, you can do one of two things. If you don't want to go that mass route and be like, hey, I'm going to be broad with it, then you take one other segment. I would focus on the supernatural bit and maybe divide it up into only digital campaigns.
Oh, interesting.
And be like, hey.
So you don't do a full, and this could be considered a trailer, but you don't do a trailer 2
No.
or wow, interesting.
That's one of the ways to go by, because unless they can take the same existing trailer, because it's kind of hard to beat. They laid that to a nice piece of music bed, as we would say, the music bed, and it's like you put. So I'm just like, okay, it had 2 or 3 turns in it. Take one of those turns and expand upon that.
Okay.
So maybe you start off with the drawing.
Yeah.
Or he's out in the woods and he sees the bat. And now you need one other line. Again, we don't know the movie. We're seeing this with you guys for the very first time.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like we're as close as we used to be together. I mean, what's going to be the line that's going to make the audience be like, ooh, there's something else here.
Yeah.
Or what's bringing them together in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's what I was
I thought that's the other thing. I thought the title was so interesting because the title would suggest like a romantic movie or something, a romance.
Right.
That's the word.
But it could be the whole misdirect. Like, you might not think like, oh, they're just a normal couple.
Yeah.
But maybe they're not. Maybe they're the ones that are hiding in the wilderness and they're trying to stay away because I didn't see too many other things. I mean, it's like, so it reminds me of a movie that came out a couple years ago, real quick, called Hidden. I hope I'm not, spoiler alert, I don't want to give it away, but it had Skarsgård and who else is in there?
Well, how long ago did this come out?
3 years ago.
So I think that's beyond the statute of limitations.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah,
okay.
3 years, you're good.
And anyway, they set it up the same thing. Like, there was like, this town's being attacked. There's an outbreak, a virus outbreak. I'm like, okay, I get it, zombies. They found a bomb shelter. The family goes down there, but they're being hunted by something out there.
Yeah.
The twist is, they're the zombies.
Oh.
And everybody else said that. But they look normal like us, unless they get mad and their eyes turn black. Like,
interesting.
Didn't even know that till the very end.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something like this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, as an exec, you might be like, okay, I don't want to give all that away. I just like,
of course.
What would you do?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason. Explain the bond between them.
The reason I asked you that is just because as a creative, if I was working on the campaign as a creative and I saw like another agency break the campaign with that trailer, I would be going, oh, where do we go now?
Yeah.
You know, like where, like in terms of TV spots, in terms of like, do you just keep doing that kind of piano thing? Or do you, that would be a tough decision to go, or do you just go completely into the horror and embrace it? I don't know. You could go so many directions.
Well, you could do the thread could be the music too. Like, say for example, in the next trailer or spot, like the 2 digital 60s they want to put out, maybe it's a different kind of music. Maybe it's more like key of what is it?
But another classical piano
but
piece.
maybe more darker.
Interesting.
And it's like repeat it. It's like something like, okay, like just maybe one key gets repeated and then strings come in. It's like, okay, that's what I would do.
Interesting.
By the way, a producer told me this one time. There's 1,000 different ways to go next.
I know.
And guess what? Every one of them's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's all...
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, so anyway, that's what I would do. But I think it's a great piece.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's check out... I included this next trailer because it's so topical. This is the trailer for Rust that came out. Let's check this out.
The only order that exists in this world is the order we impose. If a man loses sight of that, he's got nothing.
God bless the wicked. They continue to pay my bills. Some things in this life you can't get back, I reckon. Heaven ain't waiting on neither one of us.
What do you think?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Doesn't give anything away in terms of plot at all, really.
Specifically, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason I want to include this is because I want to have the conversation of like, when you're approaching this from a marketing standpoint, which I don't feel like we need to go too much into what happened on this. I think it's been so publicized. But for anybody that was living under a rock, basically, there was a mishap on set where now I believe the armorer on the set is in prison for, I believe she's in there for 18 months. So she was found guilty for somehow misloading the gun. And so unfortunately, when Alec Baldwin was doing a practice, it was rehearsal, excuse me. The gun did go off and shot 2 people, but the cinematographer passed away. And so that was obviously, Alec Baldwin was in court for a very long time. And I believe he was recently essentially found innocent and, but it's just when you have all that happened with that and it's so public and from a marketing standpoint, do you think they went in the right direction with this?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's sometimes, this is such a cliche, less is more.
Yeah.
Just give me a straight story. I mean, they dossied up, whoever cut the trailer did a good job because they're using sound effects throughout the whole thing with the sound design. You don't need to know. Again, this goes back to what I just told you about. How are you going to ground me? You take that opening line. And it's just like, the only order we have is what we impose. And it's true. That's it. Now I know
That's the Wild West.
We live in the Wild West. It's a lawless order. And then the other bad guys, they're off. They're like mercenaries. It goes, thank God for the wicked so I can pay my bills. Basically, whatever he said. It's like, okay, I get it. We are in a city, a town, a time where there's no order.
Yeah.
All right. And then towards the end, you see there might be 1 or 2 guys that's going to bring that order. That's it. That's all you do.
Yeah.
You don't do anything else. And actually, you bury Alec Baldwin. That's it.
They kind of did.
That's why I said, you said the only method. I'm like, he is.
Yeah, I was
don't
surprised that I just, like, he is the lead in this movie, but he is a bit buried, and they're showing all these other characters more. It's interesting.
Well, here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. They might do another piece. I wouldn't. There's going to be so much more news coming out. That's going to be your press.
Yeah.
Because now people are going to want to see that because of the controversy surrounding it. And that's what you're going to use.
Yeah.
Because I think if you do any more, it might hurt you more than help you. If you're trying to look to sell this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, get people to go see it. But I think people will, just because of that's what people do. And they like, when there's controversy or if there's a fire, they're like, let me go get a picture of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like, especially today. And so I think they want to go take a look at that. I mean, anytime there's any kind of, I'm trying to think of movies in the past. I just remember working on Blair Witch Project was a great example, but not in this kind of way. But it was like when it came out, when people were advertising it, they're like, oh, it's not a mockumentary. It really happened.
Yeah.
And then there were all these articles going, hey, it leaked. Yeah, it leaked.
Yeah.
That it was real. And now all of a sudden people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And
that was probably one of the most genius.
And the rest of the campaign, I was working in a place called Cimarron, CBL, but it became Cimarron again at the time. And they just went with that.
Yeah.
With all that, they just went with the whole newspaper headlines.
Well, it was literally, pretty much the first found footage movie, wasn't it?
It was.
Pretty much the first one.
Right.
I mean, after that, you had so many that did that formula, right? You had Paranormal Activity did that, and there's like 5 of them. You had the J.J. Abrams one where there's a monster in New York.
Super 8.
Yeah, no, Super 8 was actually more...
no, Cloverfield.
Thank you. Yeah. No, but Super 8's
I love
great.
Super 8.
It's one of my favorite movies. Yeah,
because I just watched it.
Super
the other day.
8 is actually like sort of homage to Spielbergian type, but no, I meant Cloverfield. Yeah. Right. So that sparked a whole subgenre, the found footage thing. And and then there was a bunch of B movies because, you can do those on the cheap.
But when the point was like, they thought it was real.
Yeah.
And like, if there's ever a time, that was back then.
Yeah.
Now people live in reality. They love it. I mean, they can just go to TikTok, like it was reality. So this is going to have a ton of press around it just because of the news and what's happened in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do much more.
Yeah.
And if you do, still bury Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't feature.
All right. Well, let's check out. So I just love this trailer. I'm not going to say anything about it. Let's just watch it. This is the trailer for Duster.
Do I know you?
You'd remember. I was warned not to come see you. That you're nothing but a loyal driver.
Hey, sugar, where you been?
Well, sister, I do love my job. What do you want? How long you been at this?
It's my second day.
Oh, here's a little heads up. You're gonna have a shitty day 3.
How do you feel about violence?
You don't get to where Saxton is without leaving a trail of bodies.
Got a fed on my ass. She wants me to rat on Sax.
I'm telling you, this deal happens, we leave them all in the dust.
If I stick around, it's gonna make my life complicated. Dangerous. In ways you can't possibly understand.
Right on.
You said we gotta find out what happened. Well, I found a thread, and I'm gonna keep pulling till I unravel this thing.
God in heaven, you know I love you. Hold on.
I mean, like, how much fun is that trailer?
I don't know. Speaking of J.J. Abrams.
I know. I should have tied that in, right?
And there's Sawyer, too, from Lost.
And
I'm not surprised.
Another Max show. But this trailer reminds me so much of the Campaign for Winning Time.
Right.
And which we got to work on here. That was one of my favorite
That's such a
campaigns
great campaign.
to work on because it was so electric.
Yeah.
Like every spot in the trailer, they were so much fun, and
Right.
that's what this felt like to me. It's
Yeah.
like it's just a lot of fun.
And it
you know?
captures the time.
Yeah,
It
captures the time. It's like it's just really well cut in how it's like there's action. You know, it's
yeah. Great lines. They played the strings. I just don't know about all this stuff that's coming out.
I know. Well,
Like,
you know,
this
we
content-
missed a couple weeks and a
But
lot
this
of stuff
content,
dropped.
especially for Max too. I mean, it's like this looks like fun.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of what was that? Jackie Brown, is that what it was?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it with meets a little bit of like Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
So-
or Driver.
Or
Remember
Driver. That's
yeah.
it. Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Driver.
Oh, Baby Driver. Yeah.
That was so.
But there was also, wasn't there a movie with called Driver? Or was it Driver? Or?
Was that with Ed Norton?
No, I was thinking of the guy that was in Barbie, which is huge.
Oh, Gosling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was the? Hold on, I'll find it. It was like, I'll find it. Hold on.
By the way, he might be doing a new Star Wars movie.
Oh, Drive.
Drive.
There's
That's
a movie
it,
called Drive.
That's it, Drive.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Drive.
Like just in that, he's like
Yeah.
and also Transporter.
Yeah.
Like there's all these things that came to mind that like this reminds me of him. Like when they're like, oh, he's a driver.
But
It's like,
set
oh,
in
it's
the
kind of like
70s or whatever,
Transporter,
yeah.
set in the 70s. But
great.
also kind of like Baby Driver and
Yeah.
the vibe. Like, yeah. So it looks like a lot of fun, and I'll be
Right.
signing up for this for sure.
Good mashup for that song too.
Oh, great. Yeah. I think that's.
See, they could have put that in Andor.
Yeah.
I'm
your vehicle, baby.
Welcome to the rebellion. That'd
be great.
That'd be awesome.
All right, we got one more, and I actually got to see this in the theater, which was kind of cool, in front of Novocaine. I actually saw Novocaine the other day.
Oh, you
Which
did?
has been out for a few weeks. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really fun.
look at you. That's
I
good.
also saw Snow White, and I want to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, damn.
But I saw
All
something
right.
very funny today about Snow White.
Okay. All right.
But
Well, how
based
about
on-
we'll close out the
Okay,
show
fine.
and talk about Snow White.
Let's
but-
check out this one.
Yeah, but let's check out this for Final Destination.
Let me take my nose ring out first.
Blood. Dude, you know, real quick,
Yeah.
they've gone all in on that
That's
whole
what they're
thing.
doing.
That the poster
Yep.
is that skull.
Yep.
And I saw
And
that
it's-
in the theater lobby, and I was like, that's great that like they just went off of the teaser and that
And
one
the Green Band
scene.
episode.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, I think
they
it's
heard
hilarious.
us and said, oh, that's a great idea. Let's
That's
go
like
with that.
that's like the number one. That's it. Everything
Yeah.
else is like nothing.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, let's check this out. Nope. Sorry. Try it one more time.
Drinks all around.
Family, you don't get to pick the one you get. Just gotta love the one you got.
I always knew this day would come.
I got it.
I don't think you got it.
I held him off for years.
Charlie, get up here.
He's a relentless son of a bitch. Won't stop till he finishes the job. Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh, 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 oh.
Grandma, what's happening to us? Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do. I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
It all started with Grandma. Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist. Watch out!
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
Maybe death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Good luck.
actually really like this trailer a lot.
What's weird is Tony Todd. That's Tony Todd. He died after this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're talking about freaky. Making a movie about death and he died. Like that. They're all in on this.
Yeah.
They're all in on this.
Yeah, I was surprised how much action is in this one.
Though when they got to the book of how to cheat death, I was just like, here's a blue line, make sure you don't do this.
It's like, wasn't in American Pie they hand down a book about how to get laid? It's like that. It's like we've been handing this book down through our family on how to survive death.
It's just like right next to the Harry Potter Sorcerer book.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, I see. But no, listen, they're totally all in.
Yeah.
This is a fun popcorn movie. You're gonna go see it. You're gonna watch it at midnight when it comes on.
Yeah.
Whenever at home.
I will say I did not see. I love how they set up that whole scene at the beginning and intercut it with the old lady telling about that. I did not see the lawnmower being the culprit.
No, I was waiting for someone to swallow the glass.
Swallow the glass.
I was like, don't do it.
The rake under the thing. I was like, and it was none of those things, which I thought was fairly clever.
Yeah, it was very clever.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Classic misdirect.
Yeah.
So good job with the trailer. I mean, though they don't show the nose ring in this at all.
Yeah, and when the guy gets hit by the bus at the end, I was like, I don't think that's how he goes.
No, that's a cheat.
Because we saw the teaser.
That's a little road. I think that's a cheat.
You think so? Well, I think that in the
vision.
movie maybe it just crosses right behind him and almost hits him or something like that.
Or maybe that's just like another vision.
That's true. Yeah.
That's the thing about these Final Destination movies. There's so many premonitions in there. You don't know which one's the real death or which one's the fake death. So
that's really helpful when you're cutting the trailer.
That's great.
Because you can throw stuff in that doesn't play out like that at all.
Yeah.
And
like you're giving it away. Am I?
Yeah. Only I know.
Yeah. Good. Jeez, that's a lot of trailers.
A lot of trailers. We did a lot this week. Yeah, it's good stuff.
So you saw Snow White.
Yeah. So we'll close with this, and then that's it. That's it. Okay. So even when it came out,
right?
It's like a 42% of Rotten Tomatoes. The audience thing was like 76%. I didn't hate it. I thought it was actually pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just like, I don't have I will say this. There were times in the movie when I felt like this feels great. Like this scene is exciting and I'm having a great time.
Right.
Then there were other scenes that didn't work. Like there was just one scene in particular, technically the green screen comps were kind of off.
Yeah.
It was very cheesy. It just didn't work. Right. I thought maybe the chemistry between her and the prince was not quite there, So there was stuff in the movie that for sure didn't work. The costuming, in my opinion, not sure what happened there. The costuming doesn't feel...
They ran out of money.
I don't know how you ran out of money with $250 million.
Yeah, they do now.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's not... the chemistry between her and Disney weren't very good either.
Yeah, so basically... But as a film, I actually kind of enjoyed it. And I took my daughter and we walked out, I said, "What do you think?" She's like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's fine." It was like, it wasn't great and amazing, but it wasn't awful. It was fine.
But this is another example of what we just talked about. It was marked by controversy.
Yeah. And I will say that Rachel Zegler, man, some of the stuff she said was terrible. To say that stuff and to where Disney had to just shut her up.
Mark Platt got on a plane to go out there to New York. There's this whole thing now, and there's like this backlash, and his son John is now defending. It's a great thing. If you guys want to see it, go look at his post on, I think it's TikTok or Threads or something like that. He's just saying, listen, it was very professional how he retorted. He was just like, listen, you don't have freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech, but not for your employees. There's certain things you can't get rid of, and you're bound to legal contracts.
Exactly.
I'm not saying. And anyway, I won't get into it, Paul. But I thought it was really interesting. But the big thing, I think I texted you this.
Yeah.
Right before the week it came out, was I need to find the article. If I find it, I'll post it. I'll send it your way. I believe a Disney exec or someone affiliated with Disney basically said, based on tracking, let's get this over with, end quote, with the movie. And so you saw that was out there, and it was just like, that's
tough.
Over it's just like, that's not even Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, that's like, it's like bad. Like, it's not like, hey, it's the must-see family film. They might try to say, oh, you'll go home happy. No, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was but that's the thing. I really think had Rachel Zegler, whatever, not said all the stuff she said, I feel like they would have avoided 90% of the controversy. Really, I really do. I mean, that was so much of it. The dwarves, when you watch the movie, it's actually fine. It didn't bother me, to be honest.
Right.
And there's actually a regular little person in the movie that's cast in a non-dwarf role. So I thought they still had diverse casting and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not like you didn't give a bunch of actors a shot kind of thing.
Right.
But to be honest, once I watched the movie and I saw what they did with the dwarves, right, in terms of choreography and all that, I thought, well, it actually kind of works. You know, it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would.
Right.
And I thought the CG of the dwarves didn't look half bad. Like, you know, again, people judge things based off trailers where the CG is very early on.
That is true.
And they're trying to finish shots just to make it in the trailer. A lot of times.
Right.
And so they've got all that time from the time the trailer releases to the movie releases to continue to refine the shots.
Right.
You know, and honestly, the finished film, I thought most of the CG looked fine. It didn't look amazing, but it looked fine. But getting back to Rachel Zegler, it reminds me so much of like what Shia LaBeouf did to his career when Indy 5 came out.
Yeah.
And he talked shit about Indy 5. And it's like, what are you doing, man?
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
I mean, that's just like,
why
sabotage it?
Yeah, and here, you know, she's also someone that's worked with Spielberg, West Side Story, right? Now she's in this. She's very talented. She's got a great voice.
Right.
But I hate to think that she just might have upended her career quite a bit over this. No one's going to want to hire somebody that talks smack about their franchise.
Yeah, or it's like Shia LaBeouf, who admitted having problems. You know, it's very evident now. She opened the book to her.
Yeah.
And like, oh, maybe she's got some issues right now. So, but like, you can't come out and you still have to be professional. I mean, this is on any kind of job. But I mean, again, like I said, it goes back. This isn't a classic example where that press, when you want to see it, you don't want it.
Yeah.
It backfires. And there's the old saying, like, any press is good press.
Yeah, not always.
Not always. Not always. So,
because I mean, it did. I read an article from The Wrap that tried to break down. I thought it was pretty funny because they tried to break down like red states versus blue states. Of
course.
Was there a difference in attendance?
None.
And they basically were like, nah, we can't really tell. Like they were like, oh, there was a difference. But then then like 2 paragraphs later, they're like, but there's also more theaters in blue states and red states. And like, well, you guys got nothing.
It's very political.
Yeah.
I want to see the headline of that. Like, Republicans and Democrats come together. They all agree on one thing. Don't go see Snow White. I mean, maybe that's what was destined to be made.
Oh my God.
But it's like
the come together movie of the year. That's pretty funny. That's their campaign right there. That's the post
yeah,
spots.
United we stand of America. It's like, but it's like, I get it, but I'm like, I don't. It's just overseas. It's slumping too, and I'll post. I want to find that original one because I hate speaking out of turn, but I believe it was a Disney rep or someone with the PR campaign was like, let's just get this over with. And I'm like, you don't want to go out with that.
That's even worse to say.
That's
like,
it's
man.
But all this stuff is coming out now where the producer had to go to New York. It was basically literally to shut her up. You're like, what are you doing? Like he's like, I'm trying to help you in your career, like to stop talking. So I don't know. It's a pass for me. I mean, if it's on whatever, maybe the kids want to see it, but I doubt it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's a run out to the theater thing. Unfortunately, I did, but that's just because again, like we've discussed many times, I will pay for any excuse to eat popcorn.
I was gonna say it must have been a good popcorn day.
It was a great popcorn day. It really was.
But you do bring up a really good point. Like I hear this a lot, and this is a great way to go out into. A lot of shots aren't finished in trailers.
Yeah.
My favorite is like when you see shots and I see like it comes to end and you see the title come up and you see this guy jump in the air and you just see an empty building behind him.
Yeah.
And people are like, what was that? Was he scared of the building? But then you see the movie and there's like a giant explosion. Like, no, we don't have an explosion yet. But, but you have to put it in the trailer. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not, that's a good thing to keep in mind when we're going through some of the stuff. That CGI might not have been, maybe it was 70% there. I don't know. I didn't see the movie, but I'm just saying people should understand that it's not always completed for the trailer.
Yeah. So. And I think maybe the difference was I went in with an open mind. I went in going,
that's true.
I'm just going to go in and expect nothing. And then, so, you can latch onto the things that work and you're like, well, I really like her performance. I really like this. I really like that. And then you obviously notice the things that aren't working. And so when you walk out, you say, it was okay. You know, but I'm not going, they changed the story and she talked stuff about Mickey. And, you know, I'm just like, let's see the movie for what it is and not let her, stuff cloud my opinion. Anyway, so that's my takeaway.
Wow.
It was okay.
Packed show today.
Packed show. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll be back very soon.
Happy opening day.
Yeah. See you guys.
Thank you for joining us this week on The Green Band. The Green Band podcast is produced by Brian Fink and Michael Carr and brought to you by Karma, Creative Post Experts. All media in this production is used under the protection of fair use. Follow The Green Band on social media. Subscribe and like on YouTube. And please give us a rate and review on your favorite podcast platform. We'll see you back on Friday with a brand new episode of The Green Band.